My name is Bob Burton. I'm the training supervisor for emergency reporting. Today we're going to do our virtual Thursday on a couple of new features in Training 3.0. Now these, the Class Signup and JPRs rolled out last Tuesday, so just a little over a week ago. So they've been online for a little while. Hopefully most of you have had a chance to at least take a look at them. And given the amount of time we have today, if we can get to it, we'll talk more about the standards and how to use that in setting up classes and being able to report against those standards. So we got about a minute before 11 here, but I just wanted to get on a little early and get ready to go. And we still have some people joining us. But we're going to go ahead and start the slide presentation and move forward. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a retired training captain from the city of Yakima. I had 30 years in the fire service. We came on with emergency reporting back in 2004. And I retired in mid-2011 and joined the company basically at that same time. So I've been here just a little over 3 years now. We have various training opportunities that come up throughout the year. We have our regional training conferences. We have, and we'll cover a couple of those that are coming up here for the rest of this year. And next year we're going to move that to a kind of a quarterly concept and try to at least have 3 or 4 during the year next year. We also have on-site available just for your organization. If you desire an on-site training, contact us and we'll be able to set you up with a price and what it costs to get an instructor out there for 2 or 3 day training. We can even do a 1-day training just because of travel times and stuff, harder to set up, so we prefer 2 or 3 days on site with you and get more information to you. Another option we have is online training, where we can do these go-to-meeting sessions in a one-on-one with just your department and the people that you need to have there. And we can make them more interactive so that we can share the screen back and forth and do things that way. So all these are options for our customers, for you guys out there, to get more training during the year. In our regional training conferences, we break it up into 3 days. The Essentials is the first day, which is a broad overview of the system and what we have available and all the different modules and what we do. The second day is the Integration Day, where we ask you, the customers attending the regional training conference, what you want to learn, and we'll put those out there, we'll post them, and then as we move through that second day, we'll cover every aspect of the system that you guys want to hear about. And then the third day is what we call our Lead ER Day, and we get more into the individual modules and what you as our customers think directions we need to go with development in the future. And we'll come away from the conference after the third day with an idea, one consolidated idea from the conference of what you, our users, would like to see in development, and also a new report. We'll try to develop a new report within the regional training conference. And we'll bring those back to our team here and we'll discuss them. And if possible, we'll get those in the system and turned out just as soon as we can. So our upcoming training opportunities, contact us at training@emergencyreporting.com. We have our regional training conferences November 4th through the 6th in Rainbow City, Alabama is our next one. Now this conference is filling up. We have seats available still, but as it gets closer to the date, I'm sure that we will fill those seats. So if you're interested in going to the Rainbow City, Alabama, please contact us right away or go to our Eventbrite site and you can sign up there. The next one we have coming up, the last one for the year, is in December the 2nd through the 4th. Now this will be held at the Lockheed Martin manufacturing plant in Fort Worth, Texas. They are customers of ours. They have on-site fire department there. They are customers, and they're going to host this training for us, and as an extra added attraction, they're going to provide everybody that attends with a tour of the plant, so you get to be on site to see how some excellent airplanes are being built. So that's the rest of this year as far as regional training events. We will be getting our 2015 schedule out soon. We're still in the process of trying to get that all ironed out and places solidified that we're going to be going. Just want to, right now, today, Tom Lewis, one of our instructors, should be flying back from Germany today after 10 days there doing training for our customers over there. And we have regional trainers all across the country in different locations that are doing onboarding trainings for us, and they'll do on-sites and help out with the regional trainings, and we really appreciate all those instructors out there. So if any of you run across one of those guys, give them a shout out because we appreciate their hard work. So our upgraded customers, I didn't get that number this week, so I don't have that in here. Just in watching them as they come in, I'm going to say we're probably somewhere in the 20 range this week of new and upgraded customers. The latest info on your screen every time you'll find the latest info posted at the top of your screen. If there's an alert up there, if there's a message about like free training, anytime we do a system upgrade, we'll post that up there, and it's a live link you can click on to see what was upgraded within the system. And if you want to get to a historical view of those, you can click on the support button, take you to our support page, and you'll see the whole list of the past postings up there, and you can click on those links and see what was done. Okay, feedback and emergency reporting is your voice into our system. This is where you can log in at any time, and you can put a suggestion in as far as what you think we need to work on or what we could work on. You can also look through stuff that's already there and put your votes towards something. And we, as the product owners, we look at those every week, and we go through and we try to take the suggestions of our customers into consideration when we decide what to build next. So that is an important way for your voice to be heard, and you are heard. Some of the things that have come to pass from that are the being able to schedule maintenance in the maintenance module, the streets list, to be able to have a list of streets in your system where you can verify street addresses against the list of streets, master street list. That's just a couple of examples of direct impact that the user voice has had on our system. So today's objectives, we're going to get into the Training 3 module, learn about the recent updates to Training 3, and how a limited or read-only user can sign up for a class that's scheduled, how, as the lead instructor of that class or the training officer, so anyone with full permissions into the Training 3 module can either approve or deny that class in the pending request page. We're going to learn how notifications are set up for Training 3, so you can see on your home page when you log in about some of the different notifications available. Then we're going to jump into the JPR section, or Job Performance Requirements. I realize across the country JPRs mean different things to different people, and in different states the JPRs are different things. We've adopted this term as a way for you, our customers, can set up a set of classes to into a JPR to accomplish a goal, a training goal for your department. So it's all user configurable. You can set it up, and then the users can go through, and at the end of the JPR, you can either make a certification out of it or just say the training's complete and move on. We're going to talk about why we use templates in JPRs instead of just specific classes. And we're going to learn about the status of JPRs and how to check the student status, how the overall status of the JPR, the student status, the class status for each student, and the different drill down levels that are available within the JPRs. We're going to learn how to complete a JPR. So there's 3 ways to complete a JPR: either no certification, add your own certificate, or generate a certificate. We'll talk about all 3 of those today. We'll also learn how to trace from the certification back to a JPR. If one was created from the JPR, you'll be able to go back and see what was done. And again, if we have time, we're going to jump into the using of class standards. You can set your own standards, but it would be something like an ISO class. You know, this class qualifies to meet ISO standards, or if you have an airport, CFR 139, or something like an NFPA standard you can refer to in there. So without spending any more time on the beginning here, we're going to start in on today's training. So again, my name is Bob, Training Supervisor with Emergency Reporting. We have Mark online with us today to help answer questions. If you have questions, please go ahead and type them in, and Mark will try to get those answered as we move through this today. If we can't get to all your questions, or if you stump Mark on something, we'll get the information and we will get back to you and get an answer to your question. All right, so we're going to use one of my training accounts today to go through all this. So we're going to go right into training 3. And if you have the permission set up in there, you will see buttons across the top now have expanded to show pending requests and JPRs. And then, of course, settings and reports, again, if you have the proper clearance to see all those. And you can see in here that I have classes in a whole lot of various states here, scheduled, reviewed, and incomplete classes that just need to be finished out, and different things. So what we're going to cover first is a class sign-up. And you can see I have one of my JPRs is 4th quarter training. So within that 4th quarter training, I've broken it down into October week 1, October week 2, and that sort of thing. So as you can see, I've got my first 2 weeks of October classes scheduled in here. And one of those is even have been completed already, because it happened yesterday. So that class has already been completed and reviewed. So what we're going to do is I've got another user that is a limited user that I'm going to log into, and we're going to sign up for a class. So I'm going to slide that one on over here. So now, if I'm a limited user, I'm a leaver, and I have just very few icons here. I can log into training 3. Now again, I can see the training grid, much like it appeared in the other screen. I can see the scheduled classes. But you notice I don't have access to all the buttons up here. So I don't see the pending grid, I don't see the JPRs, and I don't see the settings because I'm a read-only user. But yet I want to sign up for this class, and we're going to choose this one here for October 7th. Say I'm going to do my week 2 training on October 7th. So you can click on the edit icon for that class, and you'll see the authorized tab is grayed out. You can click on the people and see who has signed up for that class already. So this one already has 4 people in it. And if we go back to the info and say, yep, that's the one I want to sign up for, so I'm going to click on Sign Up Request. So when you hit Sign Up Request, you get the pop-up here. This automatically populates with the name of the class, the date, who the lead instructor is, their email, if you have an email in the system, and if they're a person from in the system. Now, if the instructor for this class is set up and it's someone from outside your department that doesn't have information in the system, this part will not be available, and you'll have to choose who you're going to send it to. Now you have the option of sending it to both in here, so if I click on here and drop down the list and say I want to send this to my battalion chief too, so now I can send a notification to both people. And I just simply hit send request, and now I've sent my request in to sign up for that class. You'll see down here I just got an email popped up into my system that says I'm a leaver has requested approval to attend the following class. And it gives you the class date, name, and everything, information about it. And actually a link right here that'll take you to the pending page. So if I were not logged in the system, I could just click on that link. It would take me to the login page. I'd log into the system, and I'd go right straight to that page where I could approve or deny the pending request. But since I'm already logged in the system over here, I'm just going to go right to the pending request grid. And now I can see all the different pending requests that are here. And since I'm a full user, I can approve or deny anybody's class request in here, even though I'm not the instructor. You can see here the lead instructor. If I wanted to just see the ones that I'm the lead instructor on, I can drop that down and sort so that I'm only looking for the classes. And you see I've got 2 people request to attend this class. So we'll just work from the top down, and we'll say Mr. Colbert. We can approve them. And then I'm a leaver. Go in here and say, you know what, I'm going to say this class is full. So this class is full, and you need to find another one. So now she's going to get a denial notice. So I send that back, and now you see my list is empty of pending requests. If I set that back, I can see the other pending requests. I can come over here. I can look for, I want to see all the ones that have been denied. So now I can look in here and see all the ones that have been denied. And I can hover over the information icon, click on it, and it'll show why this was denied. My page refreshes here. So we'll come back to the pending grid and see. Now I can approve or deny these for the other lead instructors, or I can wait and let them approve and deny their own students. So now when we go back to training, and we look at this class, and it was this one here. Now I'm a full user, so I have all the buttons available. But I look in the people list now in the class, we can see that John Colbert has been added because I approved him. So all I got to do is hit the fill for him to put his time in there. Now he's a full member of this class. And that I'm a leaver does not appear here because she was denied. You'll also notice that I have a message that popped up in my message center. When that request was sent to me by email, it was also sent to the message center. So I could have clicked on the message center here and read about this class needing approval. So I'm going to slide back over into I'm a leaver, where she's in the system here. Now she's got a message. Since she doesn't have an outside email set up, we'll go into the message center. She has a message from me that says your class enrollment was denied, and your request to attend the below class denied by Bob Burton because class details The reason for denied request, the class is full now and you need to find another one. Please contact lead instructor or your training administrator if you have any questions. So she gets a message back in the message center telling her why she was denied. So that's a good way to complete the loop so people know whether or not they've been accepted in the class or denied. All right, so we can go through the other pending requests if we wanted to, or if any of the other instructors log in. I'm going to log in over here as, I'm going to log out as I'm a leaver, and I'm going to log in as Ann Blartz, who has a class up there. Now when I log in as Ann Blartz, you can see that she too is a limited user, but because she's an instructor, when she logs in here, she can see the pending request grid. And when she clicks on the pending request grid, she can see all the pending requests, but the only one that she can take action on is the one where she is the lead instructor. The other ones up there, because she's not a full permission user and because she's not the lead instructor, she can see them, but she cannot do anything with them. So now she can come in here and approve or deny this class for Stan, and we're just going to approve this one, so it's just a matter of click the send button. Now that one drops off of her list. You can also see that the three messages she has up here, one from me and the one from Stan and the one from John Colbert about class enrollments. And we can go back to the training, and then she can look at her class, and I believe it was this one. And see who's attending that class. It must not have been that exact one. She's teaching a couple of them here, so. She can see that Stan was added to this class, and so far he's the first student in this class. So as you're approved to attend the class, you'll automatically show up on the class roster. All right, so that's about it for the sign up for classes and stuff. So we will go back. Now I need to refresh this page because it's still showing Stan on here. See, now he's removed from my list here, except for the class where he's Ty Black as his instructor. So there's still a couple more there for him. So now we want to go ahead and get into the JPRs. Okay, so here's the JPR section, and you can see that I have several of them set up in here. And I'm trying to watch for questions as we go here. I hope if you guys are having questions that Mark's able to keep up with them. The one that we just approved the people for was this fourth quarter training. And you can see as we look through here, this column here is the status of the JPR. All of my JPRs that are set up in here are incomplete at this time. But if I go through the completion progress column, I can see that, well, in this one, I've got 2 out of 9 people that are in this JPR that are complete. Nobody's completed this one yet. 1 of 9 here, 0 of 15 here, 6 out of 16 here, and 0 of 15 here. So I can see that at a glance how this is progressing. Now, one of the things about a JPR, when you set one up, you set a start date and an end date so that any classes that happen between these 2 dates can be a part of the JPR. Now you can see this one I've set up from January 1 of 2013 to December 31st of 2015. So this is a 3-year time period. This happens to be emergency vehicle incident prevention in the state of Washington. It cycles in every 3 years. So my students, there's 9 drivers, have the opportunity over the course of 3 years to complete that. If I want to see what this entails, I can just hover over the information icon, and the class templates that are part of this are my 2014 EVIP classroom, rodeo, road course, and a refresher. Or I can actually click on the edit and be able to see what they are here, and also be able to see the list of the students. So if we're going to set up a new JPR, I click on the Add New JPR button. We're going to name it. We're going to call this one JPR Training. We're going to start this one on today, and we'll end it tomorrow. So now I've got my JPR, I can save it, and it will show in here. And right now it's showing complete because there's nobody that has not completed it. There's nobody that's taken it, but it shows as complete. So we're going to add some templates. Now the reason we use class templates on here is because anytime you set up a class from a template now, it will be available to complete the JPR. So let's say we're going to use these 3 confined space classes for this JPR. I simply click Add on those, and I have them up here. So now I want to add my agency personnel, so I can click on this, and let's say I want to add all my probies. So you see I got a probationer on each one of my 3 shifts. So I just click that Add All button, and now my 3 probies are required to complete this JPR. So I click Save. Now you see this changes to incomplete because 0 out of the 3 have completed it. When I drill down to the next level here, you'll see my 3 people, and I can drill down on any one of these guys and see that this person is not currently enrolled in any class associated with the JPR. So I go back to training now, and I'm going to set up a class for today. We're going to set it up using the template, one of the templates that is part of this JPR. We're going to set it for today. Started at 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to add that class. Now template brings it in without an instructor, so I'm going to add an instructor. As my page refreshes here. So the rest of the information about the class has already been put in here. If there's any files associated with it, which is a balance sheet that's attached to this one. But I can go and add my people now, my agency personnel, and say we know all my probies need to take this, so I'm going to add all of them. And I can also add other people in here. Say I'm going to send my firefighters from B shift that are at Station 1. So I'm going to add those 4 people too. So now these are all taking this class today. It's a 2-hour class. We're going to complete it. Now since I have payroll set up in here, their pay grade will automatically refill when the page refreshes. And now we can go ahead and complete this class just like you would any normal class. Put your password in. When we go back to the training grids now, we'll see that this class comes in line. Confined space 1 right here was completed. This will show scheduled until the date turns over, wherever your rollover time is set. So even though it's still showing scheduled here, it is a completed class. But we can go back to the JPR now and see, okay, I'm going to click on that. These are my 3 people that are required to take the JPR, and see their status has changed to 1 out of 3. So now when I click on this person, I can see confined space class, and the class is showing completed here because it is in a complete class. So if I went through and put classes in for the rest of this JPR, again from the template, and we'll put this one in, say it was at 10 o'clock today. Put my instructor in. I'll go back and add my probies. Refresh the screen. Well, this one is probably going to tell me I can't complete it. It's letting me. We have enough time passed that I can complete it. So I'm going to go back and add that 3rd class for this afternoon. Put my instructor in. And again, the instructor could be a different person for each class, could be the same person. And we can see all 3 classes today on our training grid. Confined space 1, 2, and 3. When we go to the JPR now, we can look at these guys and see that they've completed 2 out of 3. And when I drill down to them, you'll show the 2 out of 3 complete, and it will also show the one that's scheduled for this afternoon. So as soon as this one is scheduled for this afternoon and completed, then these guys will be able to complete this JPR. I'm going to go jump back to my 3rd quarter training JPR to show you that status complete when the JPR is completed for the person changes to a complete status. And it will put the completion date in here. When somebody has completed everything, like this guy's completed everything, he changes to a status of pending. So when I see the pending status in here, I can come in and say, okay, we're going to complete this guy. I can put any notes in here. Now this one I'm not going to make into a certification. I can put my password in here. Click complete, and it now will show him as completing the JPR. So you can also override. We go down here and look at this guy. He's got 4 out of 5 complete, but you know this guy has taken some of the same training. See, why is 4 out of 5 complete is he's taken the week 1 thing twice and passed it twice, but when he took week 2, he failed the class for some reason. And so that one does not count. He's taken all 4 of the classes, or all of the classes, the 4 weeks in July and the 1 week in August, but because he failed this one, he's not complete. But let's say that I know he made that up, and I want to go ahead and grant him his certificate for this, or his passing this. I can go through and override that. Put in a note and complete the JPR. Oops. Put in the whole password. And so now that completes the JPR for him. So we go through our EVIP one here, and I'm just going to show you how to complete one. We're going to take Mr. Blart's here, and let's say he's actually accomplished everything. He works for another fire department also. So I know that he's done all his requirements here. So I'm going to make this into a certification. Put my password in, complete JPR. Now when I come back here and the certification name is EVIP, if there's an expiration date, I can put that in. And let's say it's going to be 3 years from today. And now he has completed his EVIP certification. Now I can go in and look at his personnel file, or if I was him and logged in, go back and look at Mr. Blart's personnel file, and look at the certifications. You'll see his EVIP shows up here. We've generated a kind of a generic certificate. Now this will be your department logo, just like the one that shows up on your reports for the different things here, and who signed off on it and everything. So that's all in there. And if I click the edit, there's a link here that tells me this is created from a JPR. If I click on that link, it automatically takes me back to the JPR section, opens the EVIP, opens Ed's file, and I can see the classes that he's done. I can go ahead and make him incomplete again, and then he has to go through and complete the rest of his classes. Now the one thing that doesn't do is take away his certificate, so we would need to go back into his file and say, since we made him incomplete with that, we're going to go back in here and we're going to take a look at his certificate and say, no, that's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that certificate for him, so he has to earn that one over. All right. So now JPRs, in a nutshell, again, are a way of grouping a series of classes and or a class together. And again, you can see you can schedule multiple classes for JPRs. I'm going to go ahead and schedule a series of classes for my 4th quarter training. And I can see in here that, we'll just click on the edit here. I already have my templates set up for weeks 3 and 4, but I don't have any classes set up for them. So I'm going to go back into training, and I'm going to add my classes from a template for October week 3. And we're going to start the first one on, say, Monday the 13th. and we're going to set up reoccurring classes. So we click on the button here for reoccurring classes. So now when I add a class, for this first one now on the 13th, because I know who it's going to be, I can set up the instructor, save that. Then I can go ahead and add people to it now or wait till later. But let's just say I want to get them all on the schedule. So I click the schedule button now instead of an authorized button, because we're setting up reoccurring classes. This is your schedule button. And let's say I'm going to do this class on the 14th. At 9 o'clock, so we click the insert button. I'm going to do the class again on the 16th. And let's say I'm going to do it a third time on a makeup class on the 20th. So I got all three of these in my queue. I click schedule it. It asks me, are you sure? I'm going to say, yeah, schedule them. So now it's gone in here and put my week 3 classes. All 4 of them show up here. And the first one that I put the instructor on shows up with an instructor name. The other 3 show up again without an instructor. But now they're on the schedule. Someone can come in and start signing up for these classes. Or I can go back in any class instance now and add an instructor. I can manually add the people to it. And let's say I'm going to add all my equipment operators for all my shifts. And now when I go back into JPRs, under my 4th quarter training, you'll see my number of classes has jumped to 5 instead of 4. And I can go through and see this guy's done week 1, and he's scheduled to take the week 2 class on the 8th. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this JPR function to set up classes. Sorry, I'm reading a question somebody asked here. All right, so the question about future development. Yes, there's still going to be future development on this. I've got some reports in the queue to be written on JPRs right now. Feedback on any of this is important. We like hearing from our customers, so any feedback that you have on this function or any other function in our system, please get us the feedback. So it helps us make better decisions on directions to go with stuff. So currently there are no reports on JPRs, but again, I'm working on that. Other notifications, like when a JPR is coming due and that sort of thing, we're working on those. But while we're talking about notifications, I wanted to go over to our home page and show you some of the Training 3 notifications. So currently, I've got my notifications set up, and this is going to tell me there are 2 students that are pending approval. Now, because I have full users, I can go through and approve those guys. So this will be a way right on my home page, even though the message was not specifically sent to me to approve these, because I'm the training officer or the chief and I have the permissions. I could click right here and say, oh, 2 people have signed up for classes. So I can just click that link and it'll take me right into the pending grid, And I can say, yeah, I'm going to approve these guys. So click, he's approved, click, she's approved. And I can go back to my home page, and now that link tells me there's no students that are pending approval. So this tells me that I'm not enrolled in any of the classes, but I am the instructor in the class that's going to happen within the next 30 days. We have quite a few overdue classes in this account, again, because I use it just to show people things and aren't necessarily anything of importance. And there are 13 open classes within the next 30 days. So I can click on that link, and now it shortens my list down to show me just the scheduled classes. So if I were a limited user and I wanted to set my notifications, so we're going to slide a limited user back over here, go to their home page. They don't have any, and doesn't have any system notifications set up. So let's say I want to display training information, and we're going to set it to details. So in addition to today's enrolled classes, show me for the next, and you can set your own threshold here. I'm going to set it for 30 days. And show me scheduled classes in which I am not enrolled for today, and let's go out 30 days. I'll click on that. So now as a limited user, when she logs in, now she decided to go with class details. So now on the page it shows her a little bit about the details out of each one of these classes. So she wants to sign up for this week 3 drill. She could just click right here, click the sign up request, send it in, go right back to her home page and see what else she needs to sign up for. Now if the notification were set instead of details to show summary, she would get the link like I have that just shows there are 13 open classes. She would click on that and show her the open classes. So that's the notifications with that. We're kind of starting to run short on time. Hope I've covered this. There are knowledge base articles on both the JPRs and the class signup in our knowledge base. For reference, we are recording this session so that you'll be able to go back and review this at your leisure also. Slide back over into my full account here with JPRs. Click on the JPR grid again. Now you can see that you can set JPRs up for like quarterly training, if you do weekly training, yearly training. If you have just some core classes you require yearly, you can put them all out here and set them up with yearly training. Or you can do it to like a very short time period, like this one for today and tomorrow. If we had more time this afternoon, I could show you as that class that we scheduled for the afternoon on here completes. We can go through and complete that class, and these individuals will change from 3 out of 3, change to a pending status, and then we'll be able to go in and complete those as completing this class. Now the third option for completing in JPR is one where you complete it. We're going to create the certification within the certification module, but we're not going to create the certificate. And this is handy for people like, say somebody's taken a Red Cross CPR class. You're going to document in here that they've taken the class. You're going to create a certification from it. So you make the JPR for a Red Cross certification, complete the JPR, upload their certificate that they got from the Red Cross. Their paper certificate now becomes a part of the record. But yeah, you've got a record of the classes they took and that sort of thing in here. But it can be something you want to accomplish, like your EVIP training over a 3-year period. You can set it up for a specific task, like ITAC here's some command structure class, and just the 3 captains are enrolled in this one, in my little play department here. You can see that they've got till the end of this month to complete 2 more classes in here. So this was a JPR that was set up for a month, or actually 2 months, September and October. So they've gone through September and they've only done 1 out of the 3 classes. And I can see this is one of my overdue classes here. So chances are this one should be done. So if I click on it here, it's going to take me right into that class. And I can see this was the ITAC class. These 2 people took it. And yeah, it's all done, so I can go through and authorize this class now. And when I go back and look at the JPR, now I can see that Mr. Jones has completed 2 out of 3, but these other 2 have not. But if I click in here and see, no, nothing there. And I can see Jack Sparrow has 2 overdue classes, so I'll click on each one of these. And these classes are done, they just need to be signed off on. So I click on that. So now they show it 2 out of 3. I'm going to click on this other one. This one hasn't, we didn't put the instructor in yet. We're going to add an outside instructor to this. So we brought somebody in from the outside that taught this class. It shows up here. So now I can go ahead and complete this class. So now when I go back to the JPRs, I can go back to my ITAC here, and I can see, so it's still not, it needs to update here. For some reason. I did not finish filling out the hours for these people, and that's why that's still showing. So my bad, that was my mistake. So I'm going to go back in and mark this as incomplete. Go back into my people tab for this class. Fill in all my hours. So I didn't give them any hours, so it's telling me even though they were there and the class is completed, they didn't do anything. So now I can go in and authorize this class. So now I go in here to my ITAC. For some reason it's, oh, I know. It's a duplicate class. That's why he's still only 2 out of 3 complete. He needs a 3rd class. He's done part 1 and part 3, but not part 2. let's go back to training. We'll show active classes. Now that's a change we made recently to just show active instead of all. And all will show anything that's been archived. If you have a lot of archived classes, sometimes it gets, so we put down just the active so you don't have to look at the archived classes. I've forgotten what that class was I was looking for already. So try to run through here real quick and finish this up for this guy. And it's NFPA Part 2. So we're going to look for just the classes here. I've not done any of the NFPA Part 2 classes, so we're not going to finish that up for him right now. I think you all understand how to do that. This class has not been, this is the template for it, and hasn't scheduled any classes from it, so there's nothing available to complete the JPR. We're running short on time, and I wanted to show the standards real quick. When we're in a class, we'll just pick one at random here, NFPA 1500. The standards for NFPA 1500 is met with this class, so I can go to reports, and we have a good report on standards. Right here, training code hours per standard for personnel for date range. So if I'm going to look at all my personnel for the year, for the standard for NFPA 1500, I can run this report real quick, and it'll show me all the classes that qualify for NFPA 1500, and because I chose all the people, it'll show me all of the everybody in my department. If I wanted to run this down and just show for B shift all my classes that meet ISO standards. This is just for my B shift guys. These are all the ones that meet the ISO standard. Now the standards are set up within the training module. You can set your own. It's a complete free type field. You can have more than one standard per class. Let's say I wanted to take this, we'll take one of my scheduled classes here. See, this one meets the Washington State Rating Bureau class, but let's say this also meets the ISO. So you can have multiple standards. One class can meet multiple standards. I like to use live fire training. ISO requires live fire training every year, so does CFR 139. You only have to have the live fire training once per year, and it'll fulfill both standards. And then when you run the report for those standards, you'll be able to see who's done, who's done the live fire training, whether it was for ISO or CFR, it doesn't matter. They did it once, and it meets both standards. So we are running out of time. I appreciate you all being here. I hope Mark was able to keep up with all your questions. It's very hard as we go through and the teaching stuff to stay up with the questions. But I hope we got all your questions. If not, feel free to contact us. Send us an email, support@emergency reporting. You can send one directly to me, Bob, at Emergency Reporting, and I will be glad to get an answer to your question. So I hope this has helped today. Stay tuned for the next Virtual Thursdays. I'm going to blank my screen for just a minute here. I'm going to continue talking as I Going to look in to see what our next virtual Thursday is on, so that we can get you that information.